reason why you don't have what you want, and mainly the reason why you don't have the money to have what it is that you want. This is because we are conditioned in our subconscious mind. This stick figure here, Dr. Truman Fleet, came up with it in 1934. He worked in holistic arts, and he said that we need a picture of what our mind looks like if we're going to understand it. And it's true, because we think in pictures. If I ask you to describe anything in your life, you would picture it on the screen of your mind, and then you would tell me the details about it. So if mind is an activity, we don't actually have a picture of our mind. So he drew this picture. Long and the short, this is our mind up here, conscious mind, subconscious mind, and our body. Even though mind is in every cell of our being, this is just our representation so that we have a better understanding and a picture to work with. So you are conditioned subconsciously, and your subconscious condition is keeping you wired where you are and getting the results that you're getting. It keeps you in the state of vibration you're in. Your subconscious mind is your emotional mind and your subjective mind. It only has the ability to accept what it's given. So if you tell yourself something over and over again enough times, your subconscious mind is going to believe it. It can only accept. It cannot reject because it's just repetition over and over again, placing something in their mind, in their subconscious mind, and it only has the ability to accept. So we have our conscious mind up here that has the ability to accept or reject and originate new ideas and new concepts. But you see, most of the time, we aren't even using our conscious mind. Earl Nightingale said that if most people said what they were thinking, they would be speechless. And you'd say, I think. Well, you think on autopilot. You think with all those subconscious conditions that are inside of here. And all those subconscious conditions were given to you when you were a baby. So you didn't have a conscious mind when you were a baby. You only had a subconscious mind. And that subconscious mind was conditioned genetically and environmentally. So if you were a baby born in North America and you ended up moving to China, somebody adopted you in China, even though you're from North America, it wouldn't matter. You would speak Chinese because that was the environment you grew up in. So heredity is, or environment is more important than heredity. Heredity is not as important as environment because the environment, what's going on around you, really develops your self-image, the way you think about money, your abilities, your lack and limitation mindset, all of it's in here. And then we just run on autopilot, our emotional mind. It puts us in a state of vibration, and then we attract into our life what it is that we're putting out. But we're not thinking new ideas, getting emotionally involved in them and putting them out. We're thinking a new idea. Our subconscious mind isn't accepting it because it's already conditioned. We're getting into a state of vibration and what we want isn't happening for us. And then we're constantly frustrated. But it all comes down to our ignorance. And I don't mean that in a mean way. Number one is understanding the fact that you even have this box of subconscious conditioning. Most people don't understand that they have that and that that is riding their life. It's dictating everything that they're doing without any conscious thought and awareness. So the reason why you're not getting what you want is because you're thinking about what it is that you want, but you're not realizing that your emotional mind, your subjective mind and conditioning is saying absolutely not. And then you get in a state of vibration and you get more of the same. And it's a self-fulfilled doom cycle. So I want to use the analogy of a thermostat. So say your thermostat is set to 70 and it's cold outside. Somebody opens all the doors and windows and the cold air is just blaring in and it's freezing the house and the temperature drops down to 50. The thermostat turns on and it's pumping heat until it gets back up to 70. And then what does it do? It shuts off. It doesn't go to 75, 80 anymore. It shuts off at 70. So then you shut all the doors and windows and it stays at 70. Now the opposite as well. If you set the house at 50 with the air conditioner and somebody opened all the windows, it's hot outside, all the heat's blowing in, the air conditioner would come on and try to pull it back down to 50 again. And that's how your subconscious mind works. The conditions in here, you say, oh, I want to do this. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to try this. And your subconscious mind is like, whoop, come back here. This is where we're set. So you try to lose weight. You might start losing a little bit of weight, but then you fall back and you gain it all back and you're set back at that same weight again. You earn a little bit more that year at work and then you lose it somehow. It's the way that your subconscious mind is set. You maybe get a lot of money and then all of a sudden you lose it because your subconscious mind is set on not having money. So you need to change these subconscious conditions in order to have, do, and be what it is you want out of life. Now, how do we do that? We have to create new thoughts. So you have to become, as I mentioned, consciously aware, thinking mind, consciously aware of the fact that you have this conditioning, this box of paradigms and habits that's running your show. Then you need to set a goal that is outside of your comfort zone, something that is going to make you stretch, and you're going to reach for it. And your subconscious mind is going to say, absolutely not. And you're going to say, absolutely yes. And you are going to be aware of the fact that those subconscious conditionings are trying to hijack you. And so it's going to be difficult at first because it may feel a little bit like imposter syndrome because your subconscious conditioning is very strong. And that's why it's kept you where it's kept you. And so you're going to originate new ideas. You're going to think about that goal that you have and you're going to hold it on the screen of your mind. You're going to start getting emotionally involved in it. You're going to think about what it would feel like to have it. And you're going to go to sleep at night thinking about it. And it's constantly going to be on the screen of your mind. This is where the effort comes in. It doesn't take any more raw effort and determination physically, but it takes the mental determination because you're going to have to work this muscle. You see, you've been working your subconscious muscle for a long time and it is jacked. But your conscious muscle up here, it's almost in a state of atrophy because you don't use it as often as you'd actually think that you do. So we need to start working it. And at first it's going to be a little hard, but then it's going to become easier because the practice is going to make it work. So you're going to be thinking about that new concept, pushing it into your emotional mind, and thinking about how much you want that new thing. And those old paradigms are going to come up, and you're going to recognize them and replace them with a new paradigm that actually serves you. And through the repetition of doing this, the new paradigms, the new thoughts and new paradigms are going to take root, and they're going to put you in a new state of vibration. And then you're going to start to see, I shouldn't have actually been as scared about that as I was. But that was your old conditioning, and you overrode it, and you got yourself into a new state. And that, my friends, is how you started to grow. And as you start to grow, you start to attract new things into your life. You're going to attract new circumstances and situations and things that you can't even explain because you're going to be so in love with that picture on the screen of your conscious mind. You're going to get emotionally involved in it. You're going to override those old paradigms. It's going to put you into a fabulous vibration. And that vibration is going to go out into the universe. You see, the Secret movie talked about the law of attraction. That's the secondary law. The primary law is a law of vibration. Feeling is a word we invented to describe conscious awareness of the vibration that we are in. And that comes from how we are emotional in something, our emotions in tune to things in our life. So we get that new idea, we get emotionally involved in it, we override those old paradigms, we get ourselves in a new state of vibration, and we're putting that out to the universe. And the universe says, your wish is my command, and it gives you more of the same. That's why givers gain. That is why when you put good out, it will come back to you. And it may not come back to you from the exact source that you put it into. Don't get that confused. You may put good into something and it comes back to you from somewhere else, not necessarily from that person, place, or thing that you put the good into originally. But it will come back because that's the way the universe works, the law of cause and effect. But that is the reason why you are not getting the things that you want out of life, is because that subconscious conditioning is running your life and it is a box that you are living inside of. And we need to blast the top off that box and get outside of it because that's what we're here for. We're here to grow and ascend and become bigger versions of ourselves. And then we can help others. We can break generational cycles with our families. We can help other people understand this. I'm sure there's managers out there that are scratching their heads going, I want to can what my best person is doing here and give it to everybody else. I want to have that person that's constantly late come in on time. I don't understand it. We've talked about it a million times and they're still late. It's a subconscious conditioning, and you change those subconscious conditions and you will change your life. It is called a paradigm shift, and it will change your life, and it will allow you to live on a whole new plane of understanding. You will be able to have everything that you desire out of life. And you might as well, because life is short and it's just passing you by. So start living now. Let go of those conditions that are holding you hostage and keeping you from the things you really want out of life, because you deserve better. So if you want some help, send me a message. I would love to help you shift your paradigms so that you can change your life and have, do, and be everything that you desire.